The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Le, Chinese Coast Guard in Bajo de Masinloc, or Panatag Shoal. In a strongly worded statement, the DFA condemned Beijing's belligerent actions, like shadowing and blocking of the Philippine Coast Guard in areas in the West Philippine Sea. The agency reminded China that it has no law enforcement rights in the Philippines' territorial waters of Pag-asa Islands and Bajo de Masinloc. The DFA also rejected the statement of the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs that China enjoys sovereignty over Bajo de Masinloc. The Philippines continues to call The Philippine College of Physicians made it clear that they are against using Ivermectin for COVID-19 patients. That's why it's now Gov't joining us live from Mandaluyong. Dale, could you tell us why the PCP is against the use of Ivermectin? And
the Philippine College of Physicians took a stand earlier that the use of Ivermectin is still would support this claim. The approval was only for psoriasis, helminth.
Dale?
Not take Ivermectin to treat skin and eye infectious diseases. Charles?
All right, Dale, let's get this clear. If members of the PCP, for example, take part in prescribing Ivermectin to treat COVID-19, is the group then willing to sanction its members?
Yes, Charles, the of Ivermectin, although it is not yet FDA approved for the treatment of COVID-19, these members will be asked to explain their participation or why they did such involvement in the giving of Ivermectin.
Thanks for that, Dale. That was Dale De Vera reporting live from Mandaluyong. The government is eyeing to wrap up COVID-19 vaccinations for its first 5 priority groups under Category A over the next 2 months. Those under Category A are frontline healthcare workers, senior citizens, persons with comorbidities, frontline essential workers, and the indigent population. By the end of the year, Health Undersecretary Mirna Kabutahe said in a radio interview that they're hoping to inoculate 70 million Filipinos nationwide, only if there's sufficient supply of vaccines. The DOH admitted that the government is being constrained by the current supply of doses in the country. Kabutahe also said they're cautious in using all vaccines for the first dose, taking into account a possible delay in the arrival of. The global vaccine gap continues to widen. While the first world is starting to ease restrictions for vaccinated individuals, low-income countries are still struggling in handling rising transmissions and deaths. More details from this Bloomberg report.
Larry Summers calls it a tale of two worlds. The United States is lifting COVID restrictions. Europe is getting ready to open its borders to vaccinated Americans this summer, and bars and restaurants in Great Britain are open for business again. But countries like Brazil and India are just now facing the worst of the pandemic.
And naturally, the system starts creaking. I mean, it happened in New York, it happened in many cities of the United States, it happened in Italy.
Brazil has now recorded more than 14 million COVID cases and 395,000 deaths. Brazil's Congress has launched
viruses that are present there will eventually move out and enter other parts of the country.
It's a similar story in India. Until March, India was recording fewer daily new cases than countries like Germany and France. But now a giant second wave makes India the world's hardest hit nation.
The situation in India right now is, shall I say, dire, all across.
But officials estimate that the number could be 10 times higher than that because of lack of testing outside of big cities and poor reporting. Prime Minister Modi's leadership is coming into question with the surging caseload. He and his top ministers encouraged vast gatherings of unmasked people at jumbo election rallies and at a month-long Hindu festival that brings millions of pilgrims to a small town on the Ganges.
I think this year, and everything was opened up, the rallies, the gatherings, the weddings. Obviously, given the situation right now, it was a mistake.
Now the nation faces severe oxygen shortages at hospitals and is turning to the world for help. The White House is lending a hand by sending PPE, ventilators, and test kits.
We are sending immediately a whole.
You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.